Hello everyone, welcome back to another F122 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 3 from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And today, as you can see on your screen, we have a sprint race coming up in this weekend. So that means qualifying. I've already done one practice session. Qualifying, and then we do practice 2. So let's just get straight into qualifying here in Imola, and bear in mind it's pretty wet in every single session we have here, even in practice. In practice 1, qualifying, practice 2, the sprint and the actual race is very, very wet. Very soon, and here we go. Onto the flyer, on the intermediates in the wet. Let's see how this goes. Get the power down. We've got to get a good exit out of there. And we are faster than Albon. Looks like it's still falling, to be honest. The rain. So, didn't really do much waiting that extra bit of time in the pits. In the garage, I just thought that it might stop. It was forecast to maybe stop, so I just wanted to see if it actually would. Because if it did stop at some point, and we went out when it had stopped, we would have a huge advantage on some of the teams that went out early, like Carlos Sainz, who was out in the wet. But it looks like everyone's going to be in the wet today, and it's going to be wet all weekend, basically, by the looks of it. Not a dry patch on this track this week, but that's just how Imola is in Italy. It's quite wet, very, very, very wet. Hopefully getting into Q2 isn't a curse for me, as we are into Q2, and last time in Q2, well, we crashed out and our race was basically over just as quickly as it started, as an incident into turn 1 left us quite behind everybody. Apart from Carlos Sainz, who DNF'd, I believe, if I can recall correctly. Don't know who's in front of me. It's Mercedes by the looks of it. So here we are, coming across the line into P4.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Again. Strange. I feel like I need to just bump the AI difficulty up. If it's going to be like that. Whoa!
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Just lost it. Let's go from here. Whoa, I've lost it again! Not as much damage as before. Oh god. Jesus. That was interesting, that. Ooh. Just losing it a bit on the corners. Ooh, it just slips in and out of control, really. It's not very easy to get back once you lose it. But yeah, where we are currently is very, very odd. So, almost hope we get knocked out. So I'm not going to run again. This is just unrealistic. We are now heading to the sprint race in IMOLA.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, George Russell and Perez, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Joe and Mick Schumacher, Ocon, Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly and Magnussen, Tsunoda, Green, Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel, Albon, Stroll, Latifi and Richard Verschoor. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
So, yeah, obviously no pit stops here today. We have 5 laps. I might just bring that down to 6.9. But yeah, it's a sprint race, so 5 laps of IMOLA, no pit stops. May the best driver win. Oh, formation lap. Sorry.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please.
Oh, Bottas is behind us actually. Did not realise that. But yeah, just hoping we can get a good start on Yuki Tsunoda and maybe try and jump him. But maybe I guess the main aim is probably not losing out to Bottas.
Lane, ETA about 15 minutes.
15 minutes? That's not very long. Are you sure the softs are good by then? For the rain? Are you sure, mate? Yeah, I just don't want to be jumped by Valtteri Bottas in that Alfa Romeo. So we need a good start. Ooh, going onto the grass there a bit. Not intentional, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, we will reform. A purple parking.
Parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go.
As the lights go. These 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. It's not the best start, but it's not the worst one. Valtteri Bottas gonna look round the outside, and wow, he did that very easily. Annoyingly for me, but gonna have to, go on the grass there to not crash into the back of another racer. Bottas gets past me. I've just compromised myself there, realistically. But it's fine, I don't let Albon squeeze past me. Magnussen and Bottas fighting just a few tenths of a second up the road. Gonna try and use that to gain on them. Is trying to make a move possible on Bottas, but it's not going to work. It's going to backfire realistically, as here comes Alexander Albon. Going to go defensive. managed to get it turned in.
Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
I am trying to stay alert, mate. He's going to go down the inside, maybe? No, backs out a bit again. But Valtteri Bottas really on the tail of Magnussen, and I was going to say I was on the tail of him, but obviously not anymore, as I'm being really pressured by Alexander Albon. I'm going to have to leave him space on the inside, and he's going to make the move done. I'm going to accidentally turn back in on him. He's still there on the inside, he's not shying away. Latifi, his teammate, right out there next to me. We're just gonna compromise both of us here, but eventually I have to swing back onto the racing line there. But that has compromised both of us now, as the back runners, including me, are extremely far behind the rest of the pack, and in a few laps it's not very easy to close that back up again. Like when you don't have DRS, very, very hard to close a gap over 2 seconds. But we're going to have to try. But most importantly, we're going to have to try and stay ahead of Alexander Albon, because any mistake just lets him in so easily. He's just there. He's not making a mistake. If I make the mistake, he's there, ready, pouncing on me as soon as I make the mistake. He is out of my DRS range, actually, now, to be honest.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car.
Oh, I mean, I am catching them, to be fair. Can't really see the track very easily there. But I am catching Valtteri Bottas slightly. Well, not anymore, I was. But the most important thing is I keep Alexander Albon out of my DRS. Whoa, that's not good. It's a terrible, terrible corner for me. And hopefully Alexander Albon doesn't pounce on that like I said he would. Back in the DRS range though. There, the Thailand driver. Oh, they're going a bit wide there. Not getting a good exit at all. Still outside the DRS range. But hopefully I can keep it that way. 3 out of 5 laps down. Bottas just getting away from us here at this point. Just going so much quicker than us. And there is Alex Albon. The gap from Bottas is, well, it was 3 seconds. Now back down almost to 2. Oh, going wide again. Just... Whoa! And we get spun there. Not sure whose fault that is. I may go back and look at that, because I may have squeezed him a bit too hard there. But let's just look. Well, no track for him to go on, in all fairness. But yeah, he holds his ground and just... Well, I'm since spinning. It's almost like a pit manoeuvre. But that really isn't going to help. I mean, I squeezed him a bit much, but he was not willing to back down. So, here we are, once again, at the back of the cars, the back of the lineup, the back of the grid, and we'll be starting there tomorrow. Hoping nothing like that happens in the actual race that's coming up next.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters wearing red today, and they've all turned out for what we're expecting will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Unlike most Formula One tracks, Imola is driven anti-clockwise and offers our drivers today just over 3 miles of glistening wet tarmac to negotiate. It's made up of a roughly equal split of 9 right-hand turns and 10 left-hand. Watch the drivers on the way into turn 16. Managing their speed there will be crucial, with the rain only adding to the difficulty of that downhill braking section, which then, of course, leads into the track's longest straight, though no DRS there today, of course. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, George Russell and Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Joe and Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly and Ocon, Magnussen, Bottas, Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, Vettel, Latifi, Richard Verschoor and Green. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. And judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
So here we are in Imola. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting strategy. As it does say that it will dry up towards the end. So the wet tyres, just one stint of the wet tyres is probably the way to go. And let's do this. Should be a formation lap, yes. Put some sprunk into your trunk. A green. Coming up to 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. It's not a great start for me. Oh, it's a terrible start realistically. Cannot see anything in front of me. Just so much spray from the cars ahead. Gonna have to try and dive down the inside, which I will. And I will pull off. In fact, Latifi in front of me. Verschoor, my teammate behind me. Well, I guess not anymore, eh? Go side by side with Nicholas Latifi now. Oh, he's going to get such a better exit. Don't know what happened there. But the car just didn't want to move, almost. Not taking these corners too well.
Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
We got our teammate, but I'm trying to look a bit further than my teammate, because this is not really what we want. We just want to try and move through the pack as quickly as we can. I've done nobody any favours there. Me and my teammate just slowing. Well, I'm slowing my teammate down, that's for sure. Wasn't expecting him to brake so early, but we do make the move. On Richard Verschoor, Latifi and Vettel, Latifi and Stroll, sorry. Fighting the position, P19 they're fighting for, as we are trailing behind by almost a second. But no DRS today will not help us, because DRS really pulls our car along on the straights. We really don't have much power. If we don't have the DRS, we don't have power. Realistically, that's what happens. Gonna dive down the inside. Latifi giving us no room there whatsoever.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Not what you want to hear from Mark. My can't really see much. Nothing's yellow, so it's not too bad. But I'm assuming it could be better. It's only, he said somewhere, but I don't like the fact of losing power. That's what I don't like, because we don't have much of that in the first place. So yeah, coming out here onto a pretty long, fast section into some slower corners. We just don't get the good exit ever. It never works for us. We can never get a good exit, but yeah, just losing it and losing it and losing time to the cars ahead of us. Latifi not too far ahead, but then Stroll is really far ahead. And that is just not going to help us, trying to slingshot our way through those few corners just to try and catch up to Nicholas Latifi, and we have slightly there. Gonna go for a dive down the inside, again turns in on us. So if he doesn't want to give me space, I'm not going to give him space. That's how it works, Latifi. And I'm going to make the move done this time. Nicholas Latifi is not willing to give it up that easily, and putting me under pressure into those two corners there, those two, well, an uphill right-hander, but now
The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet.
now we need to just try and keep Latifi at bay and catch up with Stroll. Gonna go for it, then he backed out, maybe I squeezed him off slightly. Hopefully I didn't do it too much, but he did squeeze me off twice, like gave me no room. I know it was a late dive both occasions on the hairpin, but he still gave me zero room after I'd even got there. Like my nose was there, I was level with him almost, and he just gave me no room, so I'm not going to be kind to him. I'm still going to try and race as fair as I can. Not very fair then. But like, if he's going to squeeze me out that much, when I'm basically level with him...
Still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Well, we're not moving on to a different tyre, this is it. Whoa! What the hell happened to our rear tyres? Well, they're not as warm as I thought they were. They just look really yellow when I saw them a minute ago. But I guess not as yellow as I thought. But yeah, just increasing the gap between me and Latifi is what we're trying to do here, even though there is no DRS in the first place, so it won't do us too many favours, apart from it won't be as easy to overtake. But yeah, on the straight and the fast sections, he catches me like a flash. That's how slow this car is compared to the Williams, and the Williams is the slowest in the F1 grid, the real F1 grid. But this alternative F1 grid with Monster Energy Racing,
Current front is 4.3 seconds.
Latifi's pit. Does he know something we don't, or did he have damage? He may have had damage from fighting with me, in all fairness. Oh, he's on the inters. Latifi. Do Williams know something that no one else does? Because yes, it starts to be lightening up soon, but I don't think it's inters. I don't think it's time for intermediates. Because our strategy is just stay on these wets until they... Because even if it does start to lighten up, the wets will wear down almost into intermediates. They won't go down.
Could be time to come in for a fresh set of boots. We're seeing a lot less spray at this point, and opinion here on the pit wall is that we'll probably be okay on the intermediates.
Oh.
Here's who we're really fighting today. Stroll and Bashir.
But you can speak. What?
Vettel stopping now.
God, I'm not racing well.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
What's going on? I'm doing terribly. I'm not paying attention. Oh, Verstappen's on the inters, so maybe it is time to get on some intermediates. But yeah. The wets are getting quite used. Verstappen is, wow, close behind Richard Bashir there. There's no way Richard Bashir can try and fight him, surely. I don't know why he would want to. It's not his race at all.
Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
So I should... oh no, I'm not going to come out.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this
We
compound.
have lost a lot of time on the wets. We lost a lot of time on the wets. Because we are now behind Stroll. So, no, not Stroll, sorry, Latifi. I mean, yes, we are still behind Stroll, but not immediately. We're behind Nicholas Latifi, so clearly the intermediates were the way to go a bit earlier on. The mechanic did tell us. Even though I saw some going in to the pits, didn't believe them. I think Mark just realised a bit late compared to other teams, but that's okay, it's fine. And yeah, we did lose time, especially to the TV. Let's see, because the people on the wets, if it really is intermediate time, then the people on the wet should really be dropping down or pitting. They haven't pit, for sure, or Lance Stroll. But they are...
We're currently trailing our teammate by 18.1 seconds.
I'm not really catching Latifi, to be honest. All I can hope for is them to pit. My teammate and Lance Stroll. All I can hope for is them to pit. Or just lose so much time and then come into the pits a bit late. Hopefully, if they come into the pits this lap,
Gaps of the car ahead is 1.5 seconds.
I genuinely think we have caught Lance Stroll. Oh, Richard Bashir made a move. Either made a move or Lance Stroll just had a mare. Not quite sure what happened, but I did not notice it. Well, that's not great from us. Taking way too much curve turning in. Way too late. But we are halfway through this IMOLA Grand Prix. Verstappen setting a new fastest for 1:28. Our fastest is 1:32, but that may come down right now. But yeah, we are catching Stroll. Ooh. Yeah, 1:30. The intermediates are definitely the way to go. And I'm hoping that Sean notices that soon, as I don't want him to do badly. At the moment we're not doing too bad because we're losing ground pretty rapidly to Nicholas Latifi. Don't know where Alexander Albon is, to be honest. He's doing pretty well. Spun me out in the sprint, but doing pretty well in the Grand Prix, as well I would have been with him instead of back here in P22. I would have been with Alex Albon, probably, at this point, but plus he could have been.
ETA on this rain clearing up in about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there, you're doing well.
But we're not up there with him, so... Oh, Verstappen is going so fast! Wow, he switched to the intermediates, and well, off he goes. Setting fastest lap after fastest lap, pretty much, here in Imola. Surely some of them come into the pits. Vettel's overtaken Stroll. Stroll is suffering, pretty much. Just losing so much time to me and Latifi. Yeah, started out at like 10 seconds ahead of us, now he's only like 5 to 6 seconds ahead of us. So, yeah. It's interesting that he hasn't come into pits, as he's seen people on the intermediates catching him, overtaking him. I'm surprised Lance Stroll hasn't come into the pits at all. Whatsoever. I mean, yeah, we are catching him rapidly. If he pits now, he is going to be last. Definitely. Because we've caught at him so much. He's lost so much time on the west that Lance Stroll will probably be last if he pits. And he doesn't. He keeps going on the west. 6 laps left.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Oh yeah. The tyres are fine. Hopefully we can just try and catch up to Lance Stroll at this point. Latifi is a bit of a... I don't know if we'll catch up to him. Hopefully I can just stick with him and help each other out to pass Lance Stroll, even though we were not very friendly to each other earlier on in the race. Not going to make any moves on him. Because that happens. Yeah, we're only now like 3 seconds behind. Not sure, I don't know how Latifi shot away so quickly there. Yeah, but we're so much closer to Lance Stroll than we were a few laps ago, so surely we can see the fact that his wets are not holding up very well. Even though it is still very wet out there, like it looks really wet, it's not wet enough for the wets. It's not wet enough for the wet tyres, just for the intermediates. But me and Latifi just catching him almost in every corner.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Thank you, Mark, for the clarification. Yeah, look at this. Vettel is gone. Like, he overtook his teammate a few laps ago, and he has remained the distance ahead that Stroll was that few laps ago that he got overtaken. Me and Latifi are catching him, like, rapidly. I don't know how he doesn't see that it's not time to switch. Turns in on me again there, Nicholas Latifi, but we do move up into P21. It's a nice move in my opinion. He's going to try and maybe go down the inside. He thought about it, then he thought again. I just need to try and catch up to Lance Stroll. And we should have the extra grip on him, not pace. Go down the inside there. It might have been an...
Nice overtake.
Well, Mark's happy with it. Thought it would have been a bit of a dodgy one. Luckily he didn't turn in on me, really. I just need to try and catch Bashur, who has also been overtaken by Sebastian Vettel. I mean, Bashur is a teammate, of course, but he's not done too well on the wets. Well, he's done better than Lance Stroll has, because he was in front of Lance Stroll, if I'm correct. Yeah, I need to just... Oh, Stroll hasn't held Latifi up very well, after all.
Next car is 4 seconds ahead. 4 seconds.
Full race update.
And we're in P20. P20. Richard ahead. And gap to the car in front is 3.9 seconds.
I genuinely didn't know that worked.
Latifi is behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 1.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound. 4 laps remaining.
Did not know that worked. In all honesty, I genuinely thought you had to select it. Didn't know you could speak it. But yeah, our goal is to try and catch up to Richard Bashur now. We've had a reasonable race, starting from the back of the grid. So it's never going to be easy. But we've had a reasonable race, I would say. Not much went on.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Well, barely anything went on, realistically. I'm just trying to throw the car in, even though it is still rather wet out there, just trying to catch up to Richard Bashur. Because we only have a few laps left to try and get past him.
We anticipate an end to this rain in around 5 minutes.
Yeah, they think the rain's going to end, Richard. Like, how do you still think? Well, we've actually been doing putting some good laps in, because Latifi is not as near us anymore. Well, like 2 seconds behind now. But Richard Bashur, we are catching you so much, buddy. We are catching you so much, so quickly. Ooh, I'm sorry, I did not mean to make contact there, it's not going to help either of us. Oh no. Bit of wear on the engine, that's what the warning sign was. Thought it was damage to the front wing. To be honest. But I guess not Latifi. Bashur is holding us up here. Just trying to stay in slipstream a bit. But yeah, he's held us up. I'm gonna dive so strongly into turn 1 there, and look at how close Nicholas Latifi is now. I apologise, Richard Bashur, but it's not like you were moving out of the way, or you were trying to fight me almost. I mean, I guess team orders isn't a thing, so I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Well, I don't know why he shouldn't fight me, but hold up Latifi as much as you can, please. Richard? I made the move on Latifi, and ever since, I've been pretty strong. God, this is brilliant work from you, Richard. I'm loving how much you're holding him up there, mate. Come on, fella. Keep going, Richard. Keep holding him up, keep holding him up.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.3 seconds.
Oh, come on, the short. Unlucky, Richard, You've done well. You've done us good. You helped me out. Because you, what's it? You held us up a bit.
Got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
You held us up a bit. Ooh. But then you kind of
Okay, this is your final lap. Final
helped
lap of
him,
the race.
helped to get back. Surprising, when like safety car or anything.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
It's been quite a nice race, I was thinking. It's quite relaxing. The TV's been a bit annoying. I don't know what to call it though. I really don't know what I'm going to name this, because not a lot has happened apart from it being wet. But what's new with IMOLA? Carlos Sainz? Charles Leclerc comes across the finish line to finish on pole position. Has he defended pole position the entire race? I believe he has, because I'm pretty sure he finished on pole in the sprint. So fair play to him. But just a few corners now, not too far from the end of the race. And a bit wide on that corner there, after the chicane. Coming in to the two left-hand, practically 90 degrees turns, coming in to the final tiny little corner, and across the finish line for P19, I believe? Yes, P19, that was quite a good race. Race from me. Very nice race.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today? Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Charles Leclerc's points today take him to the top of the championship standings. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, that was not very eventful in my race, but I'd say it was quite almost relaxing. Not much drama. Nicholas Latifi was either trying to squeeze me out on the hairpin or trying to catch me throughout that, because I caught up to him, made a lovely move into the hairpin, and then from there on out it was clean sailing past Lance Stroll and Richard Verschoor, who were on the wet tyres. So they just fell off, these two here. But that is it for the IMOLA Grand Prix here in this My Team Career Mode episode number 3. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like button, and if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single video that I upload of this series, as I reckon it will hot up eventually. Not so much at the moment, but we'll get there. And if you didn't enjoy it, leave a comment as to why you didn't enjoy it, and I can try and improve for the next video.